Do-Rag Wisdom here, folks, and welcome to Earth Date Y2K 18.02.13. 266 days left until the midterms. Finally, nuclear war docudrama, Threads. And look, you can change it. This is like one of those, I don't know if you can see that on the video there. It's kind of sick. Here it is. You know, Sheffield and then gone. This is the Blu-ray. It's put out by Severin, S-E-V-E-R-I-N, SeverinFilms.com. You could also get this on Movies Unlimited. I'm also, probably if you check Amazon, and it's the full treatment. And what I'm about to do is I'm going to give you a review, because I watched this entire, everything on this disc, everything on that was offered on it, and I'm now going to share that with you as kind of a review. This disc includes the following special features, and you can spend a lot of time. You can spend at least, for example, there's a full-length audio commentary by director Mick Jackson. The writer, Barry Hines, he died, and Barry Hines is considered a top-notch writer. He writes novels, screenplays. You can see some of his stuff is available on the Kindle, Amazon Kindle there. And he wrote the gripping script, and in combination with the director Mick Jackson, they created a Citizen Kane level work of art, a cinematic work of art. As I said, the commentary with Mick Jackson is full length. It's on the entire disc. It also has an interview with the actor Karen Meager, whose performance as Ruth Beckett was a tour de force. There's also an interview with director of photography Andrew Dunn, an interview with film scholar Stephen Thrower, production designer Christopher Robillard. It also has 2 trailers for the film. You spend a lot of time enjoying it. It's what, to me, a disc should be all about. A disc should include the movie, as this one does, and commentary and extra features. Now, the image is pristine. I never saw a more beautiful image of this movie, the way they restored it. Fantastic. But please be aware that the image is grainy in a lot of places, and that's due to the nature of the filmmaking. This is done documentary fashion, from which the grain is common. It's documentary fashion. And it is a docudrama. It's a true docudrama, this Threads. You know, people say, oh, science fiction, horror, whatever. Well, okay, science fiction, speculative fiction, actually. Horror, okay, that's fine. But the director wants to let us know that this particular, he feels this movie is, it's beyond a genre. You can't really define it as a genre. But just for the sake of being able to communicate, I basically call it fundamentally a nuclear war drama. It's a 133:1 aspect ratio. And what you'll do is, and that's what I like, that they didn't fit the image to fit the width of your widescreen TV. What they did was they used the 1.33:1. That's what they call the so-called Academy aperture. Movie screens used to be squares, 1.33:1, before the advent of CinemaScope and Cinerama and Panavision, all that stuff. So what happens when you watch it on your TV screen, you're going to have thick black bands on the side of the picture. Not at the top and the bottom, if it was like Panavision, But since it's 133 to 1, and now our TVs are basically 1.78 to 1, you'll see these two black bands on the side of the picture. The beginning music of the film is restored, but be aware that there is very little music in the picture. But what is used helps to support the theme. I mean, there is some music you'll hear here and there. For example, the song Johnny Be Good is used about 3 times in the film, and it's connected. It's part of the theme of Threads. Subtitles are available. You need the subtitles. Make sure to use them because you'll get a more enriched viewing experience. You're watching a film that was made in Great Britain, and they use their own local dialects and slang. For example, Donald Trump is a daft bugger and a pillock. And so, you know, whatever those words, I mean, I know daft means and a bugger. Yeah, he is a daft bugger. Pillock, I don't know. I never heard the word pillock, but it's an interesting word. And you'll hear the way they talk in the film. It's all local, beautiful, musical, the way they sound, the way the people talk. And again, these are not Londoners that you're watching. This film was done entirely in Sheffield, where the setting, the center of the action is. And there are different dialects all over, and it's just very enjoyable to listen to it, and then of course to understand it and to see what people are actually saying in response to what's happening. The director mentions that he wanted to make a movie, as Barry Hines, the writer, also showing like real people you would know, people like us. You know, not the ones in power, not all the, you know, like we have in many of these other types of dramas, but people who are on the street, who live, who have their lives, and then they're thrown into this horrific, this beyond imagining situation. And believe me, they do not pull any punches like The Day After did. Threads is a must be viewed by all, especially in this era of horrific and dangerous madness. Trump wants to increase military spending. Yep. He wants to increase his nuclear arsenal. Someone should stick him on an island someplace, let him sit there right next to ground zero, drop a bomb on it, him and that entire GOP with him, let them right in their mouths. But this is what he wants to do. He wants to increase his military arsenal, his nuclear weapons, at the expense of human dignity and safety. Your wife, your children, your family, extended or otherwise, your chain migration, all the white people that think they're gonna live, all the people, your dog, your cat, your turtle, your boa constrictor, your home, and all the places you love to visit will be gone once the nuclear war begins. Do not listen to these creeps, these fascist, oligarch, totalitarian creeps like Trump. There is no positive outcome to nuclear war. No matter what, everything goes. It's such a work of dynamic art, and if many people take it seriously, I believe that would help us get rid of pernicious, malignant, evil turds like the Trumps of the world, the Putins of the world, the Erdogans of the world, the Assads of the world, the Saudi Arabian dictators of the world, the religious extremist terrorists. We need to get rid of these people. I mean, I don't mean kill them. I mean, put them someplace where they can't hurt us. Because when you watch Threads, That's the closest you're ever going to get to a nuclear war. Hopefully. Because the real one, keep that in mind as you're watching it, will be millions of times worse. Release now, Threads.